The PPS XM26 shell-ejecting shotgun, much like its real steel counterpart, the M26 Modular Accessory Shotgun System, is an underbarrel shotgun attachment for the M4 M16 series. The real steel version came to light over a decade ago as a replacement for the Remington M870 shotgun, and within that time, it had featured in movies like Terminator, Iron Man, The Expendables, and ever since we released the pictures of the Airsoft XM26, everyone jumped with joy as they recognized it from the online first-person shooter Battlefield 3. It does come with an extra barrel clamp, allowing it to attach to a GBB or an AEG-M4, similar to what you've seen from the Master Key series. However, this version arrives as a standalone system, with its own pistol grip, collapsible stock, flip-up front and rear sights, the cross safety right above the trigger, an M1A1 style magazine release, releasing a magazine accommodating 5 shot shells, and each shell containing 3 BBs maximum, and is also where the gas is stored. But is it fun to play with? It most certainly is. So this is the XM26 shell-ejecting shotgun manufactured by PPS. Now PPS as a company is not very well known, but they did manufacture an M870 which was a direct competitor to the APS version. Their quality in metal is not amazing, as the receiver, the stock tube, the outer barrel, and all the moving bits and bobs is made out of a lesser quality metal, so it can scratch rather easily. The stock, the grip, the muzzle, and the magazine, rather flimsy. But after saying all that, it is very affordable. So one would think it is a hybrid of the M4 and a shotgun, and you're right, with an AK style mag insertion and an M1A1 style mag release. The charging handle could be found on the left side, and you push it like so. It does come with flip up front and rear sights, with a rail right in the middle, just in case you need an extra sight, and a door-breaching muzzle brake, which you turn, push forward, and spin, and eventually shove into the hinges of the door, but we don't really need them right now. You can also tilt the charging handle upwards or down, and grasp it like so for a more aggressive stance. Now the shell is made out of plastic. You load 3 BBs maximum at the top and you charge it from the bottom. It does store enough gas to shoot it 10 times, but the power will load every single time you use it. Now before we do the chrono test, let us test it out some more. That's so brilliant. For the chrono test, we're using 0.2 gram 6mm BBs with green gas. Now the shells can hold 3 BBs, but we did a test with 2 and 1 BBs just to see the difference. So for the accuracy test, I'll be using 0.2 gram BBs with green gas, firing at those 4 targets. All 3 BBs should be going through one inner barrel with a fixed top, so let's see how it fares. As we take a closer look at the targets, the first and third had all 3 BBs hit with a grouping of about 6 inches. The second and fourth, only 2 BBs. That just means that the XM26 is not known for accuracy, which is fine. Shotguns are meant for spread, and that is exactly what this shotgun does. As mentioned previously, the XM26 is the underbarrel shotgun to an M4, so I decided to bring out an M4. Inikatsu to be precise, because when it comes to dimensions, nobody is as close as Inikatsu. I've also removed the bottom rail as we don't need it right now. This is the barrel clamp. You need to remove the pin at the top, as well as the 4 screws keeping it in place, and you can remove them by using a hex key. Once you've removed those 4 screws, just pull it in half and set it aside. Now to remove the pin right at the back in front of a stock tube on the XM26. I've actually turned it around to use a hammer and a hex key to push it out, but if you are actually still struggling, just use a hex key, insert the hole through the pin and pull the rest out, taking apart the rear portion of the XM26. Now rest the M4 on your lap and grab the XM26 with your right hand. You see the curvature of the rear sight should hook around the curve of the outer barrel right in front of a delta ring, and it should slide into position. Notice the square piece here with the circle cutout. That must line up with the front sight post. Grab one of the barrel clamps and align them all together. And grab the other half, the one with the pin, and put it together and push the pin right through. Now those 4 screws I've removed before should be inserted into these gaps and tightened with a hex key. And there you have it. What we have here is a fully functional XM26 sitting right underneath the fully functional M4. The trigger guard of the XM26 hooks round the base of the magwell of the M4. Even though it does that, it still has a little bit of play to it. Now let's insert the magazine of the M4 and hook the magazine of the XM26, and we should try to take it for a spin. But first, we shall talk about the shell itself. The XM26 comes with 2 orange shells. You do insert 3 BBs into the top, 3 BBs max, and you charge it from the bottom. But before you insert the BBs, notice that it comes with a pin. You must charge it with gas first. Insert the shell just right over the pin and charge it like so with green gas. Do not use CO2, it's just way too powerful and it may explode in your face, and nobody wants that. If you do, by any chance, insert the BBs before you charge it, well, you're in a spot of trouble, aren't you? Now, we can take it to the range. Now, in the real steel world, a team would gather at the door and use the shotgun to shoot the top and bottom hinge, kick the door open and clear the room with the M4. But since this is airsoft, one would probably gather at the door, kick it open and clear the room with a shotgun instead. This is so much fun. Unfortunately, this version does not come with a shell catcher, just like the M870 from APS. So you're going to have to pick up every single one of those shells, which is rather impractical and somewhat of a nuisance, because who has time for that at a larger op? But who could also pass up something that looks like this, something this beautiful and threatening? The quality may not be there, but it's still a very affordable shotgun. But is it worth the money? Well, for $169 US, you get a beast, albeit not the most refined looking or the best quality or even the most lefty-friendly beast. But it's fun, and it does put a smile on my face. Sometimes it's the not-so-common companies that will surprise you, as the PPS XM26 Mass is the dark horse of shotguns. The RWA M1919 AEG is one of the most epic defensive airsoft guns out there. If you want to lay suppressing fire for a long period of time without ever worrying about reloading, this is the one to go for. To know more, click on the review here. Tokyo Marui is probably the last company to ever make a gas blowback M4, which is pretty sad now that the era has ended, but this version is consistent when it comes to FPS and very accurate, and it kicks like a mule. So if you want to look at the review, click on this link here. Answer me this: how many shotguns in the airsoft world can be stripped down so quickly and applied to a GBB M4 with ease? Not many off the top of my head, which is actually somewhat rather unique. So for the PPS XM26 shell ejecting shotgun without the M4, go to our website at www.redwolfairsoft.com and see you guys on the next episode of RedWolf TV. Porn Stash out.